What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for Life After Lockup, Season 2, Episode 42. I still don't know why these seasons are weird like that, but it's whatever. So look, y'all. I'm going to say this every week. Y'all set me up. Y'all set me up with this show. I'm going to just say that every week. So let's go on and talk about Let's just go and talk about these people. So, child. All right, y'all. Lacey, John, and Shane. So we know last week that Shane and Lacey had this huge argument because they were worried about Sean. Because Shane got upset because Lacey was still talking to John or whatever. Yeah. And Lacey was worried about John because she said, he was texting her, telling her that he wasn't feeling well and his chest was hurting. She knows he has drug problem, he's a drug user, and she was worried that he had maybe overdosed or something like that. She couldn't get in touch with him, so she's driving all around Virginia Beach looking for him. She done went to the house. Shane ended up going out with one of his friends to go get beer, and he was like, her talking to her ex-boyfriend is a problem. It's really going to be an issue for me because, I don't want her talking to some other dude. I could feel you, Shane. But okay. Then, Lacey finally does find John. She said, once she couldn't find him at any, I guess, of his usual places, her next instinct was that either he was in jail or he was in the hospital. So she chose to call the jail first. And that's where he was. He's in jail. He's been locked up. Excuse me. He got caught with DUI and with possession of paraphernalia. No bond, because she was going to post his bond. She was like, well, does he have a bond? How much is it? And that officer was like, no bond. So she was really upset. She was crying and everything. And then she was telling the producers that, she is upset because she does still, care about John. They were high school sweethearts. They've known each other. They've been through so much together. And so she still love that man. Y'all know I don't know the backstory. So I don't know how she broke up with John and hooked up with Shane. I don't know how none of that. And y'all have been doing a good job of answering these questions in the chat and giving me stuff in the chat. I think it's because y'all don't want me to stop reviewing this show. But it's cool. Y'all been telling me what's going on. I appreciate the information. So I don't know how her and John broke up and she ended up marrying Shane. But she clearly has feelings, still has feelings for John. And so we'll see. But her thing was, she said, well, basically what she was saying was, if John was still interested and was going to start coming around again, it was really going to be a big problem for her and it was going to cause some conflict. But, he's sort of taking himself out of the equation the long way. So, that's them. Honey, now we got Michael, y'all. This Michael, Sarah, Meghan stuff. I should save them for last because they got a lot going on. Maybe I'll save them for last. I'm going to come back to them because they got a lot going on, child. They got a lot going on. Okay. Now we have Josh and I ain't catch the chick's name. But it's the chick that he broke up with her. And so she said that they've been back in touch. And she's actually going to move to where Josh is so that they can work on their relationship. They've actually gotten back together. Now, Josh is still on an ankle bracelet and he is living at his mama's house, which in her mind, that was the problem to begin with because her mother doesn't like him. Her family doesn't like him. His family doesn't like her. And they feel like that's what a lot of the problem is. But she is moving her and her baby. They are moving up to wherever this man lives so that they can work on their relationship, get their own place, get him away from his mom. So she went by to see her sister. Sister thinks she on her way to Montana to go moving with mom and dad. And she really on her way to wherever old boy is to go live with him. Now, the sister is a corrections officer. So, she's like, my sister just doesn't like him because every time she sees him, she just sees the inmates that she deals with every day. And, they just don't understand our love. And her sister was just like, so you getting ready to do what? She says, so you getting ready to go to the same place where you were before, and you were there for how long were you there and he broke up with you 3 times? Like, that's where you about to go? You about to put yourself back in that situation again? Okay. All right. She's like, well, don't call me stupid. Her sister was like, but you are. You stupid. I said, okay. So that was them, honey. Traci and Clint. Now, I'm not going to make fun of this because this seems like a really sad situation. Traci and Clint. Now, I do know this much, that Traci ended up in jail, honey. Traci is clearly strung out on meth or whatever, which she got caught with methamphetamine. She kept getting in trouble. They went and got married. Clint said things were going really well for them when they first got married. Everything was going good until they went to go visit her family down in Texas. They decided to get a couple of hours of sleep before heading home rather than getting a hotel room. They were going to go straight home. Now, if you ask me, I think it's more to that story. I think they probably didn't have the money for a hotel room, and or they had nodded off after getting high. One of the two happened, because they said that the police officer knocked on the window, and before they knew it, they had Clint out the car and was arresting him, and they found weed on him, and she was like, it wasn't enough time for me to get rid of what I had. Baby, she had methamphetamine, honey. So my thing is, and y'all know methamphetamine is a terrible drug. It tears up your whole, you could see this woman, I mean, her face is sunken in, and she just, I mean, we ain't gonna talk about the hair. The child looked bad, so she was in jail. Now, the reason why I say that is because, I mean, most cops don't just roll up on you and you're sleeping in a car and they just immediately go into get out the car, yank you out the car, and throw you down. Especially white people. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but they don't just, that's just not the norm without having some sort of inclination that something ain't right. So I feel like either they had nodded off and something, you know, it didn't look right. But anyway, so Clint was saying how, you know, he told her that the next time she got arrested that he would be gone. But I think he feels guilty about the way the whole thing went down. It wasn't like she was out on a binge or whatever. They were together and he had drugs on him just like she had drugs on her. So I think the way it went down is making her feel some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So then the cameras went to go visit her in jail, and she's got this thing on, and she said the reason why she's wearing it's like it almost looks like a full-length bulletproof vest, like a dress, but she said they have that on her because she's dealing with a eating disorder. And I'm thinking, I don't understand the connection, and I'm not even trying to be funny. I don't understand the connection between that thing that she had on and her having an eating disorder. I understand the connection between that she had on and if she was hurting herself. But neither here nor there. I don't know. So that's Traci and Clint, honey. I don't. And he said he wanted to be there for her. Andrea and Lamar, look. Andrea. Andrea, I need you to let this go. I need you to just go on and get a divorce, and I need you to just go and let this man go. Andrea is one of those people that has the mindset that, in my opinion, that white is right. You know, he was telling her that, you know, why do you want to infuse yourself basically into white society? Like, there are no white people that live here. You were so excited to see the Mormons on their mission. I didn't see any black kids. Like, he was like, I don't see any black identity. Like, I really, really need to be somewhere where I'm around my people, basically. And he wants the kids to kind of have that cultural diversity as well. And she was like, you know, Andrea was like, it's not my fault that the best schools and the best dance schools and the best this and the best that are in the white neighborhoods. And in my mind, I'm like, maybe in Utah? Like, because he lives in Los Angeles. Debbie Allen has her dance school in Los Angeles, and that is like one of the best dance schools in the country. So, maybe in Utah? But anyway, then they got to arguing. Now, he came home. They got him a cake that say happy parole and all this other good stuff because, honey, he off parole. And she said this is the first time he been off parole since we've known each other. And I'm thinking to myself, how did you meet this man? And they got to argue, and then the daughter comes out there and is like, this is supposed to be fun. Like, we've planned a whole evening. You know, y'all, we just got home. Like, why are y'all arguing? And then she got upset because he was in the house prepping the meat because they were getting ready to put some stuff on the grill. And he was talking to his son, and he was just I didn't hear the beginning of the conversation, but I heard her, you know, he was just basically saying that, you know, he really wanted some diversity. And the son was like, yeah, I can understand what you're saying. And she gets, see, look, he in there talking about me now. You trying to turn the kids against me. Why are you turning the kids against me? And he was like, I was talking to my son. Like, well, you know, and I wasn't trying to turn him against you. We were just having a conversation about what we were talking about. And, I mean, she went off. I was just like, you need to just let that thing go. That ain't going to work. Because he ain't moving to Utah, and you ain't moving to L.A., and you need to let that thing go. All right, so let's go on and finish up with Meghan, Michael, and Sarah. Look, this situation right here is crazy as hell. So we start off with Sarah at the lawyer's office. She went to go see a family lawyer. She said she has a lawyer taking care of the divorce. But she's seeing a family lawyer because she wants to protect her rights. She wants to protect her rights, her you know, parental rights, excuse me. Because she's like, you know, Michael basically is a gigolo. He is out here. His only source of income is other women giving him money. And, you know, if I don't have anything protecting me and protecting my kids, you know, he's around all these different women. He could pick my kids up at any time and take them wherever he wants to take them, around anybody he wants to take them around. I'm not cool with that. I don't feel comfortable with that. And I want to protect that. I want to create a situation where he doesn't just get, there are no rules. There are no parameters to the visitation. She was like, he was a better father when he was in jail because he never comes to see his kids. He doesn't answer the phone when they call. He doesn't call them. So she's really frustrated. She was like, and the lawyer was like, well, if he doesn't have any source of income, then in the state of New York, basically the max is like $25 a month with no income. And so, of course, he was like, what? $25 a what? And she said, but it's not even about the money. Like, I just don't want him to be able to come and get his child whenever he feel like coming to get his child, you know. So, excuse me, y'all. So they working on that. So she gonna get the lawyer to get on that. Now down here in Texas, Michael is still there. Now listen, y'all gotta help me out with this one too. Is the show paying for Michael to be in Texas? Because Michael had himself a hotel room, honey. And it was a nice hotel room. It was like one of those extended stay type hotels where he had a kitchen, a living room, dining room, bedroom. Like a little mini apartment. And and the reason why I asked that is because if the show's not paying for that room, then my question, if I'm Meghan, is how you paying for this? Because you clearly don't have no job if you just down here chilling and hanging out. And you just chilling in this, you know, even with extended stays, it's still a couple of $100s a month. Like, it's still a, you know, it's not no, and you down here chilling. But if the show is paying for him to be there, then that's a moot point. So Michael is sick. Meghan comes by and brings him some soup, honey. And Michael, you know, he's like, thank you, I appreciate it. But, you know, y'all know how men get when they sick, right? When they decide they sick, y'all know how men are, I'm going to die. It's the worst day ever. And they probably just have a cold, child. So he was all, you know, I can't even eat this. I can't even finish feeding myself this soup. Oh, but thank you for coming by. So he ends up falling asleep. And her thing is, you know, my dad doesn't trust him. My dad doesn't want me to be with him. And I don't blame him. I mean, Michael can't even answer a simple question. You know, like, when is the paperwork? How long you going to be? When is the divorce final? All of that. Can I see the paperwork kind of stuff? So she decides she's going to try to go through Michael's phone. Now, look, y'all. Unless you know what his password is, in this day and age, you don't just get to pick somebody's phone up and just try to put some... You're going to just keep putting in numbers. Like, it's not a movie. It don't work like that. Like, I know with an iPhone, you only get a couple of times to get it wrong, and then it locks it. Now, I think the first time it locks it for like a minute, then 5 minutes, and then it locks it. I mean, y'all. So she is And of course, he wakes up, doesn't see his phone. He's like, "What are you doing with my phone?" And you know what? To her credit, she didn't even lie. She said, "I needed to use your phone." He said, "For what?" She said, "Because I needed to go through it. Because you're not telling me what's going on, and I needed to know for myself." So I could, Meghan, I give you kudos for being honest and telling him I was going through your phone to find out what the hell's going on. Why you won't tell me what's going on? But the flip side is, I'm one of them people. If I have to go through your phone, then we don't need to be together. Because if I have to go through your phone and I don't that my level of distrust is that high, we don't need to be together, boo boo. We just don't need to be together. Like, you go your way, I go mine. Then, so they get to arguing because, of course, he automatically gets pissed off. And he was like, "I don't like that. That's sneaky. What you going through my phone for?" And she's like, "Because you won't tell me what's going on. You won't tell me." And now he's so mad. He pissed off. He didn't climb back in the bed. He got an attitude. Well, next thing you know, there's a knock at the door. Well, who's at the door? Mr. Rock. Now, Rock is his friend who Meghan had been hanging out with while he was locked up. And they had actually kissed. Now, here's where it gets messy. So Meghan automatically was like, "Well, why you bring him here? I feel some kind of way. Like, I feel like you trying to set me up or something. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?" And Michael was like, "Well, what's the problem? Like, if all y'all did was kiss and it wasn't nothing to it, why you worried about it? Why you mad about him being here? What's the big deal? Why I gotta tell you he coming?" And of course, Rock was standing there like, "What is going on?" So then Michael was like, "Well, you know what? I gotta go talk to Rock outside. You know, I'll be back, but I'm going to go out here and talk to Rock." So they go outside, and Rock get ready, and Rock starts talking, and Michael's like, "Yo, bruh, you might want to let me talk, because if not, it's going to be a problem. I'm going to get mad, and it's going to be a problem." Rock was like, "What?" So they got to talking or whatever, and he coming at him. "We've been friends for a long time. Like, that's real messed up that you would, you trying to push up on my girl while I'm locked up. Like, that's real messed up that you would do that." And Rock was like, "Okay, you mad, but you had a whole wife. It don't matter. It don't matter. You were my friend, though. Like, it doesn't matter, and I know that I was wrong, and I know that I hurt her, but you're my friend, and that was messed up." Now, let me say this, y'all. I know as crazy as this might sound, I'm with Michael on this one. Like, I get it that you did him wrong. I mean, that you were dogging the hell out of Meghan. I get it that you were treating Meghan like, you know what? But you were his friend, and it was wrong for you to be pushing up on his girl. I'm just saying. It was wrong. It was wrong. So then Rock was like, so Michael was like, "Well, I mean, what happened between y'all?" Now, according to Meghan, all they did was kiss. Rock gave the insinuation that more happened. He was like, "So did y'all sleep together?" He was like, "Man, I ain't even gonna lie. She is a good woman." Now, he never said yes, but he didn't say no. So then, of course, so now Michael is really pissed off because he's like, "Wait a minute, what?" Like, because I think in his mind, he had resolved himself to the fact that they had kissed, but he was kind of like, okay, they kissed and that's it. But now he's finding out, oh, it's more to it than that. And then I thought back on how Meghan was acting when Rock showed up. I said, maybe something more did go down between the two of them. Baby, next thing you know, Rock and Michael got in each other's face, honey. And I think it's about to be a rumble in the jungle. Now, I think in the previews, we see in the previews where they did actually fight. He did actually put his hands on Rock. But I think at the end of this episode, they just sort of were kind of in each other's face. But honestly, y'all, I'm not sure if it, because I went on and looked at the preview for next week's episode. So I'm not sure if it was the preview for next week or if it what happened last night. But anyway, y'all, that's what happened. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all got me watching this crazy shit. These people crazy as hell, y'all. They crazy as hell. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.